The time has come
to sell our trailer.
We'd love to take you inside, but
It's a little bit cold right now, and the slides are all in. It has been winterized, and we're sitting in freezing temperatures right now.
yeah, and if you can't tell, we have a ton of snow. We have about a foot of snow, but it's turned to rain, so, well, kind of freezing rain actually.
Yeah.
And so I think we should take this on inside, and we'll share with you about all the wonderful upgrades we've done. We'll talk about that more inside where it's dry and warm. And there isn't a chance of snow chunks falling on us. Just a little bit drier and a little bit warmer in here than standing outside to have this
Absolutely.
conversation. So we're selling Blondie. It's a little bit sad because I really love her. But for the kind of traveling and RVing we'd like to do in the future, she's too big.
Yeah, the plans that we have, we want to go, I would like to go to like 22, 24 foot, which I don't think is possible, as someone needs a dedicated
I don't want to
bedroom
sleep in
door.
my kitchen.
Yeah, true enough. So we're probably going to end up in the 25 to 28 foot range.
But let's talk about selling Blondie first.
Yes.
We bought Blondie back in 2019. She is a Grand Design 315 RLTS.
Atta girl.
And we actually got it right from the factory. It didn't even get to the parking lot at the dealership.
Yeah, they actually had had two in stock at Travel End in Langley, and we said, okay, we want this one. And he said, oh, you're not getting that one. You're getting one straight from the factory. So I'm good with that. So,
Yeah, they had the one that we were supposed to get originally. It was at the RV show in Abbotsford, so they just said, no, you don't need to have that one. You can get the one that's coming in. So that was really fantastic.
So I don't even know if any salespeople had walked through it.
No,
So
just,
that's how new it was.
Yeah.
So it was.
just the guy who showed us around.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So, if you're thinking that this might be a new trailer for you to love, here's a couple of details that we want to share with you. So if you're considering that, a new trailer as opposed to a used trailer, this is a one-owner trailer, and like we said, we got it right basically from by the time they towed it from the factory. We have taken really good care of it. But just backtrack a bit. So we kind of looked around to see what the new ones were going for, and the newest one we could find was a 2025, which was going for, originally they wanted, I can't read that number.
It was 124,000 Canadian is the retail price on it, and the dealership where we actually bought our original trailer has it on for 89,900.
So we will not be asking that for amount
No.
for sure. The other thing is, and we couldn't find any in Alberta, so we looked at, because we're quite close now to the Alberta, so we had a look there too, and we couldn't find any.
I was looking
315s.
online, and the only 315 RLTS is a 2025 model, and it is the only one in Western Canada.
So the next, what they've replaced, because they no longer are making the 315, they have replaced it with a what?
a 345 RLTS.
Which
There is a 317, but it's 3 feet shorter, so that's a different model.
and it doesn't have the bed that slides out.
Yeah, so the 345 RLTS is the replacement model for it. It is roughly the same size, but it is a little over 300 pounds heavier on the hitch weight. It is 2,000 pounds heavier on the GVWR. And it is, I think, retailing for around 120,000.
So if you're looking, your price point is a little bit lower, and yet you would like to get something of this size, then this might be the right trailer for you. So like I said, we have meticulously maintained this trailer. It was our home for a little bit, and we took care of it like it was our house. And Brent he went over that trailer with a fine-tooth comb every time we left the RV site.
I always did a pre-trip and a post-trip.
And he greased and did all the things.
Axles were well taken care of. Anything on the exterior was well taken care of. And I added a few things as well to make life easier on me.
Before we get into all the mods and updates and changes we've made to the trailer, we just want to emphasize about the great storage that the trailer comes with.
Yeah, with 38 feet, there's a massive amount of storage. We had our whole life in there for a few years, so it's definitely a lot. The entire front of the trailer, the whole nose piece, is a closet.
But if you choose to do so, there is laundry hookup in there as well. So you could put a small dryer on one side and then a small wash machine on the other side.
Or just put one of those Blondie all-in-one units in, and plenty of room for that.
And also in the front, not only do you have your hanging space, but in behind, and I'll insert a picture of that. Shelves at the very front of the nose, so they are kind of angled. I had like 4 large IKEA baskets that I would put sweaters and that sort of thing in. Not only that, but there's also a dresser which had 4 large drawers and 3 smaller drawers. And then on the other side of the bedroom there was a closet.
Well, it's a half closet, but it would hang anything that I needed.
But below that, there was 3 drawers.
3 large drawers
so
as well.
Tons of storage in the bedroom for all your clothes.
And then on top of that, above the bed, it was 1 large storage as well. Even though it had 4 doors, it was all open on the inside.
And then beside where your TV mounts, there was also more cupboards there. They were very shallow.
Above the dresser, right.
Yeah. So
lots of storage.
Crazy amount of storage. I had all my work clothes. We didn't always travel with them, but I had my work clothes, summer clothes, winter clothes. I didn't have to rotate things around because there was just so much storage.
There was room for everything.
Yeah, and then to top it all off, there was storage underneath the bed. So, and then when you come back into the kitchen, there was the pantry, which had 4 shelves.
I believe 4 shelves, yes.
It's been a little bit since I've been in there.
Including the bottom 18 inches.
We put in like a pull-out tray on the bottom so that you could store things down there. I had things like a roasting pan, one that would fit the RV oven, and I mean, we had all our pots and pans.
That roasting pan, we could fit a 12.5-pound bird in that.
So there's storage is endless, and then beside each side of the couch had a little cupboard, each side of the fireplace had a cupboard, and then on either side of the stereo system, and it just goes on and on and on.
Tons of storage.
Yeah, so if you have a lot of things you want to get care of, you want to take with you, totally room for everything, and the kitchen sink.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so and then the pass-through was also, which was in the front of the trailer. There's the pass-through, which was the entire width of the trailer. You could access it at the pass-through from my closet, and then there was under the bed storage as well.
Yeah, quite a bit.
From outside.
Yes. Oh, on the outside
Yeah.
of the slide under the bed, yeah, there was a fairly large compartment in there, and that's where I stored pretty much everything for leveling the trailer, water hoses, electrical cords.
All that stuff. So let's get into our upgrades, mods, and updates. So let's get into what we did to make our trailer a little bit more, to us, valuable and functional than one you can buy right off the lot.
Functionality is huge. There was so many things, not a lot of things, probably I'd say a half a dozen things that needed to be changed once we got it, but it took us over a 2-year period, probably year and a half, 2-year period, to figure out how we needed to change it.
Yeah.
And I did those modifications in time.
One of the first modifications that Brent did was the water filter.
That was the very first modification I ever did on the trailer. It was our first trailer, and I thought it was fantastic. And when we first took it to the Washington rally in
2019.
It was 2019.
Yeah.
So it was just a couple months after we bought the trailer. That was my first mod, and I was really proud of it. It was just a minor modification for the water filtration system. And it turned out really well. And I'm still using it today.
We have a video, which I will put all the link. We did a video for each of these modifications and all the updates and upgrades that we did. And those will be in the links below. The next, well, I don't know if it was next, we did an extension. Oh, you did the door latch. That was an easy one.
It was an easy one, but it had to be sealed properly.
Yeah, so that was just on the door, so that when the door is open and you just have the screen door in the summertime, and a breeze would come along and then the door would just blow closed. So we put a latch on the side of the door to allow for that to stay open.
So how I thought of that was, we actually, when we were living in an RV park, we were at the end of a long straightaway, or long street, I guess you could call it. And the wind would actually just come down there like a tunnel. Mm-hmm. And when I had the door open, we'd have the screen door closed, but every once in a while a wind gust would pick up and it would slam the door closed. And it actually caught my foot a couple times. And it was not fun. It hurt a little bit. So I thought of this little mod and put a gate latch at the bottom of the door. So the door stays open, and we have not had any winds that have blown it open or blown it closed, shall we say. So it's worked out really well.
All right, on the inside, Brent decided that our island wasn't quite long enough. So we did like Christmas dinners and Thanksgiving and all that sort of thing. So when you're making a big production out of dinner, and then he felt the need for...
We needed a little more counter space.
Yeah.
The 315 RLTS has actually a fairly large amount of counter space, but I figured it needed a little bit more.
Just a little more.
So on the end of the island, I put a flip-up board, I guess you could call it.
It was live edge.
So it's a live edge, yes it was. and it's a walnut live edge, so it's, I think, about 2.5 inches thick, and it's very solid. So it added about, I think, 14 inches of counter space to the entire island, which was huge.
So, I mean, we're not going to take these things out of the trailer, so
No,
these will be coming with
they're
it.
staying with it, absolutely.
And then somewhere down the road, actually, I went through, and one of the first things I think we did was in the bathroom. They come with a little tiny bowl sink, and Brent could never get his hands under the tap.
I couldn't even fit 2 hands in the sink at one time.
And I've heard other people complain about that too. So we decided, we put some wallpaper out, which I've got a lot of compliments on, and we put in a new sink. So the bathroom was kind of a minor adjustment.
So also in the bathroom,
Oh yeah.
this is actually fairly important. The women might not care, but the men will. On the back of the toilet, there was no cutoff. We had to replace our toilet one time, and there was no cutoff water, or cutoff for the water feeding the toilet. What I had to do when we had our issue, the water kept flowing because there was something broken on the back of the toilet on the foot pedal that the water kept flowing. So I had to run outside, turn the water off, just so we could
Not have the water flowing on the floor from the toilet.
deal with this issue because we woke up in the middle of the night and it had 1 inch of water across the floor. So what I did was just cut the line and put in a ball valve. And whenever we have to work on the toilet, whether it's change the toilet, change a valve, change anything on the toilet, I can turn that water valve off and everything is easy from there on.
Yeah. And
Also underneath...
when you were doing the bathroom sink, you did the same thing there.
Underneath the bathroom sink, when we changed the sink out, I put new cutoffs underneath the sink as well because they never had it before. So I put quarter turn cutoffs under the sink and then the ball valve behind the toilet. So any of the issues in the bathroom, if we have to work on the sink or the toilet, we just shut the water off and we can work on it without having to run outside, turn the water off, drain the pressure. So
Who knew that the toilet was going to be faulty and just keep on running?
it wasn't really a huge issue, but it was a learning experience.
It was a nuisance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did end up redoing the entire decor, mostly in the interior of the trailer. We took down the valances. Anything that was brown, for the most part, we took out, and I did a whole bunch of painting, which each room was touched there.
Yeah, the original color scheme of the entire trailer was dark brown.
And blah, beige. That's my term.
So Miriam lightened up the entire interior. She did all of the painting. All I had to do was pull the cabinet doors out for her, and she painted everything. And I think that was pretty much it. She did all of the wallpapering as well.
Well, Brent had to help me because it's peel and stick wallpaper. So should you choose not to, that's not your jam, you can always change it out. Just peel it off and put something new up. We took the valances down, and I put up curtain rods.
Actually, when we took the balances down, that saved us. It's not a huge deal, but I believe it was around 48 pounds that I took out of the trailer that we didn't need from all of the valances in every window throughout the trailer. So I took those out, got rid of them, and I left the
ones beside the bed in the bedroom. We had carpet in the kitchen, the dinette slide, and beside the bed. And we eventually, because that always ended up being damp. The area beside the chairs and behind the chairs, and then at the far end, and then the bedroom, it started to smell like a cat litter box. And
Yeah, it had nothing to do with what the temperature was outside, whether it was raining or sunny or snowing. The carpet, wherever it was in the trailer, was damp and eventually turned musty. So we ripped it all out.
And we put in, got some linoleum, and it pretty much matches the linoleum that's in there. And we laid that down and glued it and put on a little edging, and so it's no longer an issue. One of our early trips, we were driving in a high windstorm and the roof started to peel up a little bit.
That I found the morning after the night before. So it was actually in Lethbridge, Alberta. We were coming back from Saskatchewan, and we pulled into our RV park that we had reservations at. And the next morning, I go to do my pre-trip check, and I'm doing the roof check to make sure there's nothing on the slides. And I find half of the nose cap is peeled up. So luckily I had a bunch of, well, I had one tube of caulking, or the Dicor. So I put that down to hold it down in place. And then I had some 6-inch RV sealant tape, which a lot of people have used for multiple purposes, but it's great for sealing the roof off, which I put 2 coats or 2 strips of that side to side all the way across the nose cap, and it hasn't moved since. And that was three and a half years ago.
2020.
Oh, so we're coming up on 6 years. That was one of our first big trips.
Yeah.
Oh, that was during COVID because we couldn't go into the U.S.
We were supposed to go to Yellowstone that year, and instead we went into Saskatchewan to see the big moose.
Yeah.
Moose Jaw.
Yeah, in Moose Jaw.
It's
We went to Saskatoon and Moose Jaw. That was a good trip though.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. So, and then when we came home, we finished off, and we have a video on bulletproofing the roof. Up on the roof again. It is finished. So we got all the parts taped, and Brent's just going to show you them.
Well, not completely finished. I have one more piece. I have to take the shroud off the AC, and I'm going to do the AC as well. That's another day. No rush on it. We've got a couple weeks before our next trip. But what I did finish, I did the entire side of the eaves right here. I started at the back with the 2-inch, and so we don't need the room right now. And it overlaps the eave all the way along. So any water that comes over here is going straight down past the lip of the eaves into the eaves trough. I used one single piece for each side. They are roughly 34 feet because the trailer's a 38-footer. So I had 2 rolls. I didn't want to break it up and have a splice anywhere in the middle. So I used one full roll for that, one full roll for that. I've got about 15-20 feet left on each roll, so I'll use that up in time. The 6-inch tape is what I used for around all of the sunlights, the vents, and if you look a little closer, this is what I did. So with the smaller vents like this, I basically put it on top, drew a half circle, put that piece down, and then I put the front piece on second. So it's completely sealed all the way around. And I did it that way, so see, this is the back. I put the front on like this, so the overlap is facing the back. So if any wind catches it, it won't harm anything that's been done. That was good because I did every seal on top of the roof. I've never had to deal with anything leaking since.
And it's never leaked. So, yay. You put an AC silencer in the roof after our last rally.
Yeah, Jared from Cool RV Everything. We met him at the rally in Washington in Kashmir just a year and a half ago. It was, yeah,
That was-
almost 2 years ago.
That was 2022. Nope,
Nope, 2023.
it was 2023. Sorry,
Yeah.
I lied.
In Kashmir, Washington in 2023. We went down there and Jared, we got the RV silencer, I guess you could call it. And it wasn't hard at all. I just pulled down basically the casing from inside the RV, put up the foam blocks and air vents inside that, and it's actually been quite a bit quieter.
Oh, the dining room table.
Well, that was one of the best jobs I've done. I took the. Okay, we don't have the.
We had a pedestal underneath the table,
Yeah.
and it ran lengthwise away from the wall.
Yeah, what I was trying to think of was the dinette. We did not have the dinette. We had 4 chairs and the pedestal on the table, or table on the pedestal.
Yeah.
So I took the pedestal out, resanded the entire top of the table because it was black, and once I sanded it, I saw the wood grain, stained it all, and it looks gorgeous, and it actually matches the end of the island extension. So what I did with that was we had 24-inch folding arms underneath the table, folds up against the wall. There's no need for the pedestal anymore, so I've used the pedestal elsewhere. And now the table, it's fantastic. It holds quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, and then you have the option that you can now use that as extra space. We fold it down when we were traveling, and it's a good place to store other things that normally sit in the middle of the floor, or like the dog dishes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it gives quite a bit extra space.
Yeah, so if you had to, things that you didn't know what to do with, you can park it in there. So yeah, and then if you get somewhere and you're like, I don't need the table, and we didn't use our table a ton.
No, it was mostly used for Miriam's storage. While she was working, she'd have her laptop, and then she'd have her notes and her books and a couple other jobs on the go, and then she'd have the table
And
up.
I would only eat breakfast there, and then I could,
then we'd
watch
fold
the
it down.
news in the morning, and then put on my makeup and have my breakfast and do my thing there, and that was pretty much. We would eat dinner in our loungers and probably watch television, and that was kind of how that worked. We upgraded our axles, and the reason for that was we kept finding wear on our tires.
Well, the biggest issue was they were undersized from the start. They were 5,200 pound axles. The trailer's full GVWR is 10,100 pounds. The axles being 5,200, they sound like they're okay. So it is dual axle, of course, but the rear axle, I found after about a year and a half, was bent. We had it replaced by warranty, so there was no issues there. I asked if I could upgrade the axles and pay the extra. I was told no. So we put the 5,200 axles back in, or a new 5,200 pound axle, and it happened again about a year and a half later. So I had had enough of bending axles and having to buy 2 new tires on top of replacing the axle. So I bought 7,000 pound axles, had them installed. Okay, well, we're here at Coast Spring and Axle in Langley, BC. They've already got the old axles taken off, which that is them there. The brown one, the rusted one, is the one that was replaced about 2 years ago. And This black one here is the original one, which is still in good shape, but the brown one is the one that is bent, which is the same axle that was bent before. That one was replaced under warranty. Extended warranty will not cover it. So, we need good axles. We've decided to go with these, which are 7,000 pounds. And I've not had a problem since. So the tires are all perfect as far as I'm concerned. And I keep on top of little things like that. It does have the wet bolt system in there as well,
And
which
we
I
replaced
did.
all the springs.
Yes, we replaced all the springs. The springs did flatten out the first time around, so they haven't been that bad since.
Yeah.
But the equalizer, I guess you could call it, between the axles did not have the wet bolt system, which I did purchase a wet bolt system and installed all of that. So I can grease up all of the axles and all of the bolts for every pre-trip, and it works out really well.
I think that's pretty much all the upgrades. I'll put the links of all the modifications and all the changes that we did to our trailer if you're wanting to have a look at that first. And as you saw, I put in a few pictures here and there of what our interior looks like, because we can't take in right now because she's winterized and locked up tight.
And one further thing I'd like to point out, yes, we are in British Columbia. We are in the Kootenays, which is 1 hour north of Creston, and Creston is the first border crossing at Idaho.
There you go.
So we can meet you anywhere. If you want to come up for a visit, come up for a weekend or whatever.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So we're hoping we can find our trailer its next new home, and hoping it's one of you. And that's all we wanted to share with you this week.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And ring that bell for notifications.
Bye-bye for now. A little closer. So we're selling Blondie. It's a little sad.
Time out.
Oh, that was an actual yawn?
That was an actual yawn, sorry.
Okay, we'll try that again. So when we bought Blondie in 2019, she is a 2019. Am I boring you?
Yep, yes, you are. Oh, yeah.
Do you need a coffee?
Maybe. Wow. I'm just.
Okay. Before we get onto all the mods and that sort of thing, we just wanted to share with you.
Hi, Wrigley. She just wants to be part of the show too.
Yeah, we just.
Okay.
Before we get into all the mods and that sort of thing.
I leaned against it and it fell.
Okay, third time.